Signing with Ethereum basically describes how Ethereum accounts can sign with off-chain services by signing a standard message. So in diagram form, this is just basically what signing in with Ethereum basically achieves. So when signing in with most of these applications, you either do like a proper registration where you put in your name, your email, your password, and all of those things. So in that case, the application is the owner of the database where all this information are stored. That means you're not actually the owner of the data, right? But with signing with Ethereum, you are basically the owner of the database, and you then basically choose who to identify with, basically. So instead of you having to like do something like signing with Google, signing with Apple, and using all these identifiers that are not you're not the sole keeper of, you can actually use signing with Ethereum if you're that user who wants to have the full control of your digital identity. Then signing with Ethereum is for you. So basically, we already know that if you don't have the key to an Ethereum, the private key to an Ethereum account, then you definitely don't have the crypto in it and the access in it. So, but that's not only just what we want. We also want it to the point that if it's not your keys, it's not your identifier too. So if you don't have the key to an address or an account, you shouldn't also be able to identify with that particular account, basically. So that's just basically what signing with Ethereum does. It gives you the control over your digital identity, and I know that is actually a good option for a lot of users out there. Normally, in most dApps currently, we have something like Connect Wallet. When it comes to signing with Ethereum, so you have something that have like 3 steps. You first have to like connect a wallet, then you go further to signing a message, basically. So this is the standard message I have to sign when you're signing in with Ethereum. And then if you sign a message and then it verifies that the signature is actually valid, then you get authenticated and you can now log in. So instead of having the normal login in the Web3 application where you have where you now log in with email and password, you can actually replace that with your signing with Ethereum, and then users can just sign in with their Ethereum account using their key. They can just sign in the message using their private key that they own this particular account, and then they can be authenticated into the application. So that's just basically what signing with Ethereum does. So without further explanations, let's just jump right into the code. So basically, I have a very basic application here. So we have the front end and the back end, but I'm just going to start with explaining the back end because that's where we have most of our functions. So I have just basically a back end here, and inside the back end there's just an index.js file. So, but before that, we have some packages installed for the back end. So we have the course, we have Ether.js, Express session, and Siwe. So I'm just going to explain why we need all these libraries and middlewares per se. So let's go to our backend function. So basically here we have I'm just going to explain it line by line so that you get to understand what's really going on here. So you remember we installed the course. So course basically is a middleware which allows you to enable course with various options, right? So basically it allows you to be able to send requests to another region and then it accepts the request. So in our case now, we'll be sending requests from our front end to our back end. And if we don't actually give our backend instruction to accept request from this particular origin, is going to really block it, and then we won't be able to like get out the data that we want from our backend. So that's just basically why we're using course here. So then we are importing Express framework here, and then we're also importing express session, and we are also importing two classes which are generate nouns and Siwe's message from Siwe. So this is actually the library that helps us do all the things I earlier discussed. Basically create a message, sign it, verify it. We'll get to that when we get to our front end. So we can now go further to create an express application instance using this const app is supposed to express. Then the next we are using app.useExpress.json. We are basically saying adding a middleware to pass JSON bodies sent in our request. And then the next line we are saying we are now basically telling our express application to accept requests from our front end. So our front end will be running on port 8080, and then we're just going to tell an application any request from this particular origin, accept it port, block out every other request from every other origin. So with that being said, we go further to app.useSession. This basically configures express session middleware with various options such as session name, secrets, reset behavior, initialize session saving, and cookie settings. So we are basically configuring the express session middleware at this point. And here we are defining a route to generate and return a nouns to our front end. Whenever this endpoint is called, we have to generate a nouns and return it to our front end. Similar thing is happening here where we are verifying that a particular signed message is actually valid. So we are basically defining a route to verify a message using Siwe. So an update session with the verified message if successful. So that's just basically what this verify function does for us in this place. And then this personal information, this basically returns the user's address if the user is actually logged in. So we actually use this endpoint to verify if our user is logged in or not. So now that we're done with our backend code, let's go and see what we have in our front end. So basically in our front end is just also a very simple front end. So here we just have a simple HTML file. So I just used Tailwind CSS for a little styling. So we just have three buttons here: connect wallet, and sign in with Ethereum, and get session information. So you can see how that looks here. So this is just a very simple design. So we're going to be using this button to connect first with our Ethereum address, and then we're also going to use this one to sign in with Ethereum, and then we're going to use this one to verify that our user is signing up. That's how our application is really going to work. So let's just go to our JS file. So basically here we actually installed two libraries here, which is Ethers.js and Siwe, as you can see from our packet.js in here. So these are the two libraries are installed. So this other one, you don't have to bother us about that. This just webpack related. I just really use it because I just want a simple application. Most likely you will be using a React application or a Node.js application, and you won't be needing this because I already have all these things set up for you. So in our index.js file, we're just basically importing browser provider from Ethers. So we're importing this from Ethers and sign message from Siwe. So we are just basically defining some constants here: the domain, origin, and these are just basically the domain and the origin of the website that is requesting you to sign in with Ethereum. Then this is just basically initializing a browser provider instance, and then this is basically the port our application, our express application is running on. So that's basically that. And then from this other function, we are creating a Siwe's message. And you know that when we want to create a new Siwe's message, it requires a list of parameters, and nonce is one of them. So, but we have to query our backend to generate a nonce for us. So this nonce is just basically used to prevent replay attacks. So since we need this nonce in our creating a new Siwe message instance, we have to like query our backend first before we create a new Siwe instance. That's what we're actually doing here. Then we already defined our domain. Our address is the connected address. The statement is actually passed when calling this function. The address and statement is passed when calling this function. Then URI is the origin, the version is version 1, chain ID is Ethereum mainnet, and then the nonce is basically we are going to really await this request here. So it will actually return a nonce for us, and then we pass it on to the value for this nonce. So basically that's what we need to generate a new Siwe message instance. And once we do this, it's just going to generate a message for us. Siwe library is going to take care of everything and generate a new message for us. And we are going to return the prepared message to whichever place that we are calling this particular function. So in our case, we're calling it here. So basically, this connect wallet already, that's the first button in our UI. It's just going to connect with our MetaMask. So that's just basically what this connect wallet does. So after connect wallet, we need to sign in with Ethereum. So while signing with Ethereum, we have to get the signer. We can get the signer from our provider, which is our browser provider that we already initialized up there. And then we need to get our message. So our message now, we are going to be calling this function, which is create Siwe message, which is going to return a prepared message for us. And that's going to be the value of this message, right? Since it's an asynchronous request, we are just going to really await it. So once we get the prepared message, then our message will be defined. Then we can go further to create the signature. So this line here basically prompts the user to sign a message, and the message user will be signing is the message we created earlier. So once the user signs the message, that will be the value of our signature. And we are going to call our verify endpoint with the signature that the user signed. We are going to pass the message and then the signature. So our backend will take care of the verification. And if the verification was approved, then the user can now log in. A proper session will be created for the user like we saw in the backend. But the signature doesn't match, then the user will be denied login, right? So that's just basically what our signing with Ethereum function does for us. And then this gets information, basically, like I explained before, we can actually get the sign-in address if the user is actually signing. So this is just basically we are here getting our we are getting our buttons by their ID. So before we test out our front end, we have to run our back end. So I'm just going to get into my back end, or basically create a terminal, and the first terminal I'm going to cd. So I'm just going to cd into my back end, and then I'm just going to say npm start. So it will start our express server, and then our express server is running. And we're also going to create a new terminal to also run our front end. So cd front end, and we're also going to run npm start. So once they are both running, so you can see that our front end is running on port 8080 and our back end is running on port 3000, like we said here. So we are listening on port 3000 in our back end. So we can go further to test our front end. So basically, first we have to connect. So when I click on connect wallet, it's going to dial up my MetaMask, and I'm just going to connect with any address. I have a few addresses here, and I think I'm on Sepolia. Chain. So I'm just going to connect, and then connect. Then the next thing is signing with Ethereum. So I think I should have just tried signing in with Ethereum even without connecting so that you can see. So I'm just going to come here and then let me disconnect. Yeah, let me disconnect. Then when I get back here, so when I inspect, if I'm actually logged in and I click on this, I'm actually supposed to get a message here with my Ethereum address. So it's saying you have to first sign in, right? It's saying you have to first sign in. So when I want to sign in with Ethereum, it's going to prompt me first to connect wallet. So even if I didn't go through this place now, and then I jump this button and try to sign in with Ethereum, it's still going to prompt me to connect wallet first, right? So once I'm going to connect my wallet, and then it's now going to ask me to sign. So even if I don't want to have this connect wallet button, so even if my application I want to just replace my connect wallet button with signing with Ethereum, it's really worked fine because before I even get to sign with Ethereum, it will have to prompt me to connect my wallet first. So when I sign in now and then I go further to click on this, you can see that it's showing me my Ethereum address, right? So I'm authenticated with this my Ethereum address. So that's this just a very basic display of signing with Ethereum. But in actual sense, you would use it with your dApp, which you will build out most likely with React or even Next.js or Vue, and then you have like a full Node.js backend or as the case may be. So this is just basically working with a very small code base that I'll be able to just quickly demonstrate how you can sign in with Ethereum. So thank you guys for watching, and if this video was actually helpful for you, do well to give it a thumbs up and click that notification bell to always know whenever I publish videos like this, and subscribe to my channel, and I would really love to see you watch my next video. Thank you.